All right, I'm gonna show you something real quick, and I gotta do this real quickly because I'm trying to pull these out before it gets dark. But I just literally harvested these right here. These are blackberries. This is what a day's worth looks like. Like, I pulled these out this morning, and then I had to go run some errands, and then I'm back here today because it was raining. And even if I wasn't doing anything, I would have had to have wait until now to pull more because it was pretty much raining all day. But I like when it rains all day. For one, it washes the fruit, and two, you don't see any of the beetles or bugs on like the fruit. And I like to pretty much hold off until they're super ripe. But I pulled out, I mean, I do it like this because I really eat them. I actually juice these, so I make smoothies out of these. I really don't just take a cup and eat blackberries like I normally, like, you know, somebody just eating regular fruit. But I pulled out, you know, from a bunch of my strawberry patches, you know, all around here, as you can see, where you still have a bunch forming. So every day I'm harvesting a good amount of strawberries. Like, for example, you could see the sticks where I've already harvested strawberries, but these right here are turning red. These will be red by tomorrow while the other ones form. So I'm harvesting strawberries every single day, and it's a beautiful thing. But all these patches, they give me so many strawberries. It's beautiful, and they're actually multiplying, so I make more plants out of my strawberry patches. But, you know, a lot of strawberries everywhere. And this is just on this side, because on the other side I've got many more. I think I got like 60 patches, but if I can get even to 100, I'll be happy. But you can see how many strawberries I have. Now, blackberries is insane, the amount of blackberries. So this is a day's worth harvest for one day, and I'm gonna walk over and show you. Here's another, you know, few strawberries forming there. But we'll start off from this side and work our way around so I can show you, you know, the blackberries. Like these, I did the harvest this morning, which you're gonna see a bunch of red ones still, and you know, there's a few dark ones in here still. But I wait till tomorrow because they are still a little bit, you can feel them. They're a little firm and a little bit still like purplish rather than really dark. That's why they call them blackberries. So I don't like them when they're like this, you know what I'm saying, because they're very sour and they're acid. When you have them, you know, you see how these are still fairly purple. When they're really dark and plumpy, they're like juicy and really sweet. But if you pull them out too early, they're sour, and I don't like that. Look, you see I got another strawberry patch here, and I forgot to pull out this strawberry here. And I got this strawberry here too. But it's beautiful because I've got fruit every single day, every day. Look at my watermelons on this bed. I actually had this bed with compost and whatnot, and I waited an entire year for it to, you know, break down and decompose. And then I planted the watermelon seeds here, and you can see how beautiful these vines are doing. And I've got a lot of watermelon vines everywhere. More of the blackberries here. Here I've got the melons forming, and I've got more watermelons forming here on this pot. There I've got melons and watermelons, and more watermelons there. But real quick, I just want to show you the superstars. Strawberries are delicious. But see this? This is stinging nettle here. I do use this. I'll make another video and show you how I use it, because I use that in conjunction with the mugwort and other things, but I'll make a separate video on that. But you can see blackberries here. I've got more. Look at the amount of red blackberry. I mean, they're not ready yet, but every single day, if you enjoy doing this, it's a delight. I'm telling you. Currency, she's the superstar of the garden. I told you, every time I'm doing a gardening video, you're always going to see Currency here. That's my baby. But here you got another cluster of, just look at the amount of blackberries. It's amazing. And I go to the supermarket, and they're like fairly expensive, and watermelons are 10 bucks a pop. And last year I grew 75. I told you this year I'm going for 100. But you can see when the blackberries are starting to ripen up, they look, like I said, they're plumpy and juicy. I got more watermelons forming over here. This is going to be full over here. I got to clean this out a little bit just to give those vines some room to spread out. And I'm going to throw some mulch on top so that I don't have to worry about, you know, wet conditions. But if you see here, these I haven't picked out yet. I have to come in here and start picking out some more. Here's an example of a blackberry that's ready to eat. Look how insanely big this is. Like, I have a big hand. I can palm a basketball. I can palm a basketball. I've got very big hands. And if you could see this blackberry, this is, look how nice this is. And I'm going to tell you right now, I wish you could taste this. Matter of fact, here, taste it. Taste it. Look at the size of it. Look, I'm talking about this one, but look at the size of this one. Look at that. Hold up a second. I'm going to show you something. Here, check this out. I can't tell you how good this is, but here, have some. Use your imagination to see how damn sweet these are. These are freaking amazing. All right. So as you see, these I gotta harvest, okay? That's gonna be done after I do this video. I harvest raspberries every day. However, I started off with a small cluster. These are the new canes coming up. I started raspberries last year, so that's why I don't have as many as blackberries, but next year I'm gonna have as many raspberries as I do blackberries. But I just started raspberries last year, and these are all the new canes coming up. But you see, this, for example, is what a beautiful raspberry looks like. I've got 3 different varieties. Some that are this color, and then I've got another kind that are, and by the way, look at this. I've got another watermelon growing out of this. And yeah, to get back on point, check this out. Look at this. See these right here? These are the red variety right here. And these are super sweet, but they all have their own individual flavor. And it's amazing. So this has like a little bit more of a lemonade type of flavor. This has a very sweet flavor, and then there's a purple one that I have, which I'll get to it when I get to the other side. But this is all raspberries. Now this is one bed. Over here I've got my apple tree that I just pruned, and my tulip poplar tree. You can see that I told you that's my favorite tree. Look how big that grew. And then look at the bed right here, which is insanely full of blackberries. And like I said, I love blackberries. These raspberries are delicious, but these right here, these are all blackberries. And I did a harvest this morning, but as you can see, if you don't get to them, then those little bad boys get to them. The Japanese beetles, June bugs, and etc. But you can get the point to, what up, Smoke? This is my boy right here too. This is my cat. What up, buddy? It's my boy Smoke. But anyway, you can see the amount of blackberries that we got here. And as you can see, this is a healthy garden, but this soil is insanely rich. And when I tell you rich, this is by far the healthiest of soil. Look at it. Look at it. You can see the worms there. You got the healthiest of soil. When you dig there, I mean, it's like basically maybe 5 inches deep of just nothing but black soil. Look how beautiful it's. These blackberries are ready to be eaten. I've got another bed. So this is my main bed here. And then you can see this gap. There's another bed here. This is all blackberries in there with blueberries. Let me get over here. These are all grapes that I started from seed. So this is a little bit messy. I haven't pruned those because those I actually just basically have them growing. They'll be ready for next year so that I can start putting them on trellises. See that? So I'm multiplying my grapes, you know, overall. You can see, because I want to have a lot of grapes. Look at this. Look at this. This one I tied up because it got big really, really quickly. And that's about as crazy rich a soil as possible. You can see my hibiscus already coming in. You can see how beautiful that looks. There's my bronze leaf hibiscus. Remember, guys, I was telling you that this tree, the tulip poplar tree, I don't know. I find this tree so phenomenal. You find these in the woods. But look how big those leaves are. These give you some tulip flowers that are just so impressive that I fell in love with this at first sight. Here's another grape, and as you can see, look how crazy these canes are. Look at that. This is amazing. More blackberries here. And the reason, again, I grow blackberries because my son and we make smoothies every day. And we love blackberries. Look at this. This is a grapevine that I started from seed. As you can see, this one is already, look at the amount of grapes on this. And this is in a container. This is going to give me a ton of grapes. And this is in a container. I've got more. I just planted this one recently, that watermelon. And then I've got a couple of watermelons that I just started here as well. And then here I got my cannabis tree where I'm going to do some straightening out here so it gives plenty of room for that tree to grow. And I've got it concealed there so that it's not too obvious. But you can see also my my grapevine here, another grapevine here. This is my lemon tree that I basically got a lot of lemons from. And look, that's after the frost. The frost, it lost all its leaves. It got a little damaged, but look at it coming back. And I've got all my citrus trees looking phenomenal and beautiful. It's my boy Smoke. Look at the amount of blackberries here. I got to do these now too. Look at these blackberries, man. I'm not even exaggerating when I tell you these blackberries are, you don't get blackberries like this in the supermarket. And on top of that, when you get them in the supermarket, they're not even fully ripe. Aside from that, when you talk about nutritional value, this is true nutrition. I mean, I know what I got in the soil. So if somebody asks, what's the nutritional value of my blackberry? I can tell you what my nutritional value, but you would have to tell me what your nutritional value is. Because I do a lot of work when I do composting. Composting, I put all organic food scraps in there and basically let that decompose. And I use my compost the next year, the year after. So you see, here's all blackberries here. All blackberries. Look, another cluster of blackberries here. Another cluster here. These right here are the new canes coming in. So these will produce fruit next year. And when this year is done producing fruit, I cut all these vines down, and then what you got are these new ones that come up, and then they get, you know, side shoots, and then that's where you get a bunch of blackberries. I've got more watermelons here. I've got more watermelons here. This is going to get all full over here. And I've got my girl Two-Face there. She's got an appointment next week to get fixed. Along over here with Garfield. What up, buddy? What up, buddy? Those are stray cats, feral cats, however you want to call them. But you see, they all love me. That's Gracie. What up, Gracie? What up, baby? So yeah, they take care of my stuff out here, spiritually and physically. Now look at this. I got to do some harvesting here as well, because look at the size. Look at the size of these blackberries. I'm just amazed. And look at the size of this peach tree. Look at the size of this peach tree right here that I started since it was like a little stick. Look at that. And look how it's perfectly pruned the way it's supposed to be. But look at the size of those trunks. That's some amazing stuff right there. My banana trees are coming in beautifully, as you can see. These right here are the purple raspberries I was just talking to you guys about. Check this out. This one broke as I was pulling it out, but this is the purple ones. Tastes delicious. See these right here? They're a little red, but these are supposed to be purple. And these are, the cane is not spiky, but on the other ones, they were spiky. Let me see if, because I did a harvest this morning. I want to show you what this, man, the bugs got to these. This one, the bugs got to. I didn't have a chance to come over here, but this is what it's supposed to look like. See that? Taste it. See that? This is beautiful. I'm going to eat this one now for you guys. You guys can experience it through me. But that's beautiful. Look at this. This right here, this is my citrus tree that was completely damaged. And I cut it down to a stump. You would think this is a small tree, but it's not. You know why? Because this has a really thick trunk in there. You see it? Let's see. Look at that. It's got a thick trunk in there. Got these blackberries that I gotta harvest now. That's the mugwort I was just talking about. I got the other cannabis tree here, looking beautiful. This right here is my raspberries, and then I've got more of the blackberries that I gotta harvest here. Look at the size of these blackberries, as I've been telling you guys. And then here in this bed, this is all mint, and this grows out of control. I can't eat enough of this to keep it down, so sometimes I just have to give it a haircut and just use it as mulch for whatever I have going on in the garden. But this right here, I've already done a harvest of blueberries on this, and I've got as you can see there, more watermelons that are going to be basically moving out from that side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to train the vines to be going out on the sides, because I need some space here, because I planted them to the sides over here, and the sun comes over and it gets direct sunlight over here, which is a big benefit. So I'm going to be harvesting my blackberries from that side. I've got a lot going on in small sections, but I think that's beautiful. Here's another watermelon vine over here. My seating area, I'm surrounded by blackberries, and that's when I come over here, because you know I told you we live on the other side, but I come here sometimes and just sit by myself, or just, you know, sit with somebody there, and sometimes we're just eating blackberries as we go along. Another little blueberry bush. This one's actually one of the late bloomers. There's only like one blueberry left. I mean, not left, but one blueberry that it basically gave, and it tastes good, that is ready to eat. But yeah, I want to make this video to show you the amazing harvest of blackberries. Now here's the thing too. This right here is morning glories. This is the reason why I even started gardening. This right here, this is a volunteer. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a big stick here so that it climbs up, but keep it, you know, keep it nice and trimmed, so that because they grab onto anything. And this way, it's not going to really do anything to the banana tree, because those leaves are huge. But, you know, you get the idea. Here's my citrus tree. I made a video on these, what citrus tree damage looks like. And you can see, look at the size of those trunks. You see that? This was a big tree. It was actually the size of that one over there, if you could see it. You see that? But that one lost leaves, but it wasn't so damaged to the point that I had to chop it down. So these I chopped down, and look how big it is. It's already like at like chest level for me. My avocados, same thing. Look at them coming back, because that was the original trunk there. You see it? So no worries, you know what I'm saying? We can start new ones, but we can also just fix the ones we have, and they come back better because they've gone through the death experience already. So they come back evolved and better. You see the trunk there? So these blackberries I've already harvested from there, but you can see the overall overview. You can see this is all full of, you know, wood chips, and this is where I'm going to have all those watermelons sprawling, because there's about 4 spots where they're growing, so they're going to be crawling out. And then over here I've got more watermelons. See that? Look at how many watermelons I got growing already over here, and those will all sprawl out here, and it's going to look beautiful. This, some more of those. I'm gonna make a separate video on certain herbs and things I got growing in the garden, but you can see certain things here. Look at this, you know, mint. There's all mint here, and then I've got another variety of mint over here. Then I got more watermelons here. This is all gonna fill up with watermelons here as well. So here's another thing of beauty. This is the lemon tree I was just telling you about. And don't forget, I still got the other side where I've got more watermelons growing on the other side of my property. But if you see this, look at my citrus tree. This is bigger than me right now. Look at this. I stand here. Look how big that is. Here we got the small little jack-o'-lantern pumpkins already coming in. Look at that. See that? Looking great. I've got my grapevine here coming in. Another citrus tree. Look how thick this trunk is. This was a big tree, and look at that trunk. Matter of fact, before I go over there and show you something, I want to show you this here. I don't know how I missed this, but this right here is the superstar. I guess so. Let me tell you something. With just this alone, I have until January of grapes. That's how many grapes come out of this. And I give this a pruning just so that I can make sure that it's going to be producing energy to the grapes and not leaves. But the amount of grapes coming on this is astronomical. Last year I had an amount that was crazy, and I know this year is going to be even better because it's a year older, you know. But you can already see all the grapes coming in on there. And I'm going to end it off with this over here, which in my opinion is like beautiful to me. Beautiful, beautiful. Check this out. Look at these pumpkins. I used this trellis, right? This was supposed to be the trellis for grapes, but instead you can see the pumpkins coming in, and there's still more forming. Look, I even got the little jack-o'-lantern ones, but you see those pumpkins? Look at that. And I'm gonna do something special with the seeds. Aside from saving some, you know, for the garden next year, I'm also gonna be doing something special with them, and using the leaves and whatnot, and doing a certain mix myself, and I'll record it so you guys can see it. But this is crazy because I learned this year, a few things you can do with pumpkin, and it's phenomenal. But this is great, and this one is in a container, as you can see, and you can see the amount of grapes on this coming in too. See that? So yeah, and then this was last year. This was a grape. This was all grapes, right? And this was the actual trunk of it, but I don't know what happened. It never came back this year. So nothing, no leaves, nothing came back. But then I had something growing at the base. So what I did was I just covered it with soil and compost, and I'm looking for it to root and then maybe pass it over to a container, because I'm going to be pretty much putting this on my land instead, and maybe that's why it happened. But yeah, that's all I got for this video. I started that tree from seed as well. You can see how beautiful that looks. I did a walkthrough on the other side already. This is where I harvested all of my strawberries, and I forgot to show you the other strawberries I got, but I've got more on the other side and more on that side. But I mean, it don't matter. You got to see the harvest. This was the point of this video, is to show you this is a day's harvest, and I still got more. So in a day I can probably get 3 bags of blackberries, and that's why I use the freezer in this place, and I've also used the freezer in this place. But I make smoothies every single day, so it's a beautiful thing. Anyway, if you guys have anything to say, put it in the comments, and like, share, subscribe. We will talk soon.